discussing mains question paper which was conducted on 6th September, second class. Basically, all these questions are taken from the memory base of the students. Content might be correct, options, etc. might be slightly different. So it is purely on the basis of the memory of the students. Okay? The question is given like this. If a dilute gas at pressure P and temperature T is available, the mean time between successive collisions of a molecule varies with absolute temperature T as. Remember, a similar question was given in January series also, 2020 mains. If I remember, it is on 8th morning slot. Almost the same question. We have the relation for this as, this is time in fact, as n pi d square v, where tau is the average time interval between successive collisions, n number of molecules per unit volume, d diameter of the molecule, v the average velocity. In fact, this is a function of temperature. Now, with this, I conclude tau proportional to 1 by root t. And this is my answer. The second question is, a circuit to verify Ohm's law uses ammeter and voltmeter in series or parallelly but connected correctly to the resistor in the circuit. Remember, it is a standard experiment in NCERT manual where to verify Ohm's law, our circuit is like this. We will use a milliammeter, and this is the resistor whose resistance is what we are going to measure, and this is the voltmeter. And remember, this is a rheostat. Now you comment on this. Clearly, ammeter is connected in series. Ammeter is connected in series. Voltmeter is connected across resistance. So therefore, ammeter is connected in series. Voltmeter is connected in parallel. The next question. When a particle of mass m is attached to a vertical spring whose spring constant is k and released from relaxed position of spring, and it was given the equation of motion as described as y is equal to y naught sine 2 omega t. This is the equation given. Here y is measured from the lower end of the unstretched spring. What they want is the angular frequency of oscillation. Now my question in this is, simply let me try to explain you. Say this is the relaxed length of the spring. This is a small object which is executing SHM, and you have released from here. The maximum that it goes is 2 mg by k, that we know. 2 mg by k. Now, clearly from the equation you can conclude 2 mg by k is equal to y naught. From this I can conclude k by m is equal to 2g by y naught. Remember, omega is nothing but root k by m. Omega is root k by m. This I can write it as 2g by y naught. So my answer for this is root 2g by y naught. A double convex lens has power P and same radius of curvature are on both the sides. The radius of curvature of a plano convex lens made of same material with power 1.5 PS. Let us try to understand the first part of the given data. I can write the first part of the given data like this. You said it's an equiconvex lens. So therefore, the power can be given like this. The next lens is a plano convex lens. Plano convex lens made of same material, remember, but power is 1.5 P. So this can be written as mu minus 1 by r dash. These are two different equations available to you. Simply what we can do, we can go for ratio of these two equations. By doing the ratio of these two equations, you will get the radius as r by 3. So, r by 3 is my answer. The next question is on the basis of thermodynamics. An engine operated by monoatomic ideal gas through the cycle shown in the figure. You see, in this, heat is taken by the system A to B and also B to C. Fortunately, A to B is a constant volume, isochoric process. So therefore, the heat taken by the system is NCV, temperature at B minus temperature at A. Fine. This you can write it as N times 3 by 2R. What is TB? 3P naught V naught by NR. What is TA? P naught V naught by NR. And this total thing makes you 3P naught V naught. Fine. And the second process, Q2, fortunately this is isobaric process. So NCP TC minus TB. In the same way, when you substitute, you will get 6P naught V naught by NR minus 3P naught V naught by NR. And this will give you 15 by 2 P naught V naught. My dear friends, till this moment of time, I have taken only the heat taken by the system. Now I will determine the work done by the system. Simply area of the graph. Simply area of the graph. And that gives you simply 2P naught V naught. Now what exactly the term efficiency refers to here? Efficiency is referred to the work done by you by the heat taken by you into 100%. By substituting, you will nearly get 19% as the answer. Yeah, in this question, it is good that you first find the current through the 10 ohm resistor. It is good to find the current through 10 ohm resistor. We have a simple expression for this. The current can be given as, I am sure you know this formula, E2R1 plus E1R2 by R1 plus R2 by, here capital R represents 10 ohm, R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. In fact, this is the relation which I am using. In this, I will substitute the given values. While substituting, I will have 10 into 7 plus 20 into 4 divided by 7 plus 4. Divided by 10 plus 7 into 4 by 7 plus 4. After doing this, you will get the current. Don't forget, this is the current through 10 ohm, not the current through 10 volt battery. Please remember, 138 amps. Now, this gives the potential drop across VA and VB, which is 150 by 138 into 10. Please remember, this is 10 nearly 10.87 volt. By the way, in the question also they have clearly mentioned nearly. Already 10 volts battery is there, which means the 0.87 volt is the drop across that 4 ohm resistor adjacent to the 10 volt cell, which means the current through 10 volt cell is given as 0.87 by 4. This is a nearly 0.21 amp. So my answer is 0.21 amp. And the external circuit, it is flowing from battery positive to the negative of the battery. Within the cell, it is going from negative terminal to positive terminal. Yeah, in this question it was given the center of mass of a solid hemisphere of radius 8 centimeter is x centimeter from the center of the flat surface. Then the value of x is. I will explain this. If this is hemisphere, if this is the center of the base, center of mass lies over here, which is at a distance x. The standard formula for this is x is equal to 3 by 8 r. Don't forget capital R is 8 centimeters. So therefore x is 3 by 8 into 8, which is 3 centimeters. So x is equal to 3 centimeter is my answer. In this question, it is a series arrangement of dielectric slabs. Remember, the only process through which heat transfer happen is by conduction. And in that arrangement, what was given to you? Now, I'll take this portion as K1, this portion as K2, and this portion as K3. To my understanding, as per the information given by the students, I am assuming that all these slabs are same cross-sectional area and same length. Otherwise, it is not possible to handle this question. So I am assuming, again, the lengths are same, cross-sectional areas are same. Now this is 100 degrees centigrade. This is 70 degrees centigrade. Remember junction temperatures. Don't forget the general formula here. The general formula of conduction is Ka dt by dt. This is the general formula. Same through all the three. Same for all the three. So finally, K into temperature difference remains a constant. With this, I can conclude K1 times 100 minus 70, that will be 30. 70 minus 20, that will be 50. 20 minus 0, 20. So K3 into 20. So this is the relation to satisfy. Now option D justifies. How? You take K1 is to K3. K1 is to K3 is K1 is to K3 is 2 is to 3. Similarly, you take K2 is to K3. K2 is to K3, from this you can conclude 2 is to 5. So option D justifies my answer. My answer is option D. Nitrogen molecule is moving with RMS velocity at a temperature 400 Kelvin. That's the information. What he wants is the de Broglie wavelength of this particular molecule. Remember, lambda de Broglie is h by m v RMS in case of a molecule. And this can further be written as h by under root 3 m k t. They have given the values for h, m, k, t. I believe this is a big tough task for you all if it is a numerical question. It is a numerical question, I suppose. And there is some ambiguity on this because whether it is integer type or numerical, because these are all memory based questions. So I am assuming this will come under integer type. In that case, they should ask in nanometer. I am assuming it might be a question on the basis of which numerical criteria it was given. So I am assuming the final unit must have been nanometer. By substituting, they have given the value of h, they have given the value of k, they have given the value of temperature in Kelvin by substituting all. Remember, h, m, k, t, 4 substitutions, calculation under square root. So therefore, my answer to this is somewhere around 2.39 nanometer. If it is a nanometer, 2.39. Maybe it is a numerical type question. They may give some range like 2.35 to 2.40. If you are fortunate, it can be somewhere between 2.30 to 2.4 likewise. If it is done with a calculator, approximately this is what you are getting. Right? My answer is 2.39. It was given in the question, a fluid is flowing through a horizontal pipe but of varying cross section. I am assuming something like this. At some point where the pressure is P, there the velocity of flow is V given. And at some point where the pressure is P by 2, there the velocity is given as V dash. Remember, it's a horizontal tube that's given. Also, they have clearly mentioned it is a streamlined flow. And the density of liquid is also given as a rho. Remember, if it is a streamlined flow, then you can use Bernoulli's equation here. By using the Bernoulli's equation here in this form, P plus half rho V square is P by 2 plus half rho V dash square. By properly solving this, you will get half rho V dash square as P by 2 plus half rho V square. Finally, V dash can be taken as P by rho plus V square. So my answer is this. In this particular question, it's a question on electromagnetic waves. Here, what was given to you is an electromagnetic wave propagating in the direction of positive x-axis. And they have given the magnetic field as 12 into 10 to the power of minus 9 sin kx minus omega t k cap Tesla. This is the magnetic field. They want the corresponding equation related to electric field. We already know. Suppose if S bar is a vector along the direction of propagation of light, we call that as Poynting vector. This one will be along the direction of E bar cross B bar. You clearly told that this is in the direction of K cap and it is in the direction of I cap. Obviously, the electric field will be along the direction of J cap. Fine. So I got the direction of propagation of E. Number 2, we know E naught by B naught is C, the speed of light. So therefore, the peak value is 12 into 10 power minus 9 into 3 into 10 to the power of 8. So this will work out around 3.6. Remember, Newton per Coulomb. So what I want to conclude here, the electric field will be 3.6 sin kx minus omega t j cap in the units of Newton per Coulomb. My answer is option B. In this question, Q1 and Q2 are 2-point charges, both are positive, not given that they are of same magnitude. But they are on the x-axis. Q1, Q2, and they are separated by a distance d. Now they are asking to plot potential as a function of distance. For example, I am taking this as x is equal to 0 and this as x is equal to d. Now I am plotting a graph taking potential along y-axis, distance as usual along x-axis. And please allow me to draw a line parallel to y-axis which is at a distance d. What will be the behavior of this? Don't forget, the potential at a point is given as, for example, if I am mentioning this at a distance x like this, obviously the distance of that one will be d minus x. So k q1 by x plus k q2 by d minus x, provided x is in between those two charges. The behavior of that graph will be like this. Remember, this won't touch the x-axis. Whereas outside the behavior is like this. There were 4 options given in this question. Please try to understand, you don't require to be a mathematics genius to answer this. The first option A, it was inverted, wrong. In option C, it is almost touching the x-axis. So therefore, on the basis of the odds in the options, you can identify the correct option. So my option is B, and this is a definitely easy question to solve in electrostatics. In this question, it is a question from kinematics, relative motion. Rain is falling vertically. Okay, when car is at rest, definitely with respect to ground, the velocity of the rain is vertically downwards. When the car moves with the speed v, rain appears at 60 degrees with the horizontal. When the car moves with the speed beta plus 1v, it appears at 45 degrees with the horizontal. I will explain it like this. For example, the velocity of rain with respect to ground is this. With respect to the car, the reversed direction, velocity minus velocity of car is this. And now with this, we can conclude this is the relative direction. And this makes an angle 60 degrees. From this I can say tan 60 is equal to V rain with respect to ground. We are speaking only magnitudes, please don't forget that. Velocity of the car. In the second part of the question, there is no change in the velocity of the rain with respect to ground, but the component in the horizontal part is no longer Vc, it is more now. Now it is beta plus 1 times V. So obviously, this part will become 45 now. Please watch the difference in both the diagrams. They were not the same angles with the horizontal. They are doing different angles in fact. Now, here if I take tan 45, it is V rain with respect to ground by beta plus 1 into V. Earlier, it is V rain with respect to ground by V. By using both these two equations, we can conclude that B plus 1 times V is root 3 times V. So, therefore, beta is root 3 minus 1, which is 0.732 nearly. And my answer for beta is 0.732. In this question, it is a question related to one-dimensional head-on collision. Particle of mass m moving with velocity v collides elastically another particle of mass 2m, which is at rest. Find the speed of the smaller mass after head-on collision, the first body in fact. We have the expression for velocity v1 as m1 minus m2. Remember, we need to use this only during the case of elastic collision. In this case, v1 is m minus 2m by m plus 2m times v. This is minus v by 3, which means after collision, the first body reverses its direction and moves with a speed v by 3. My answer is v by 3. Again, this is a question in electrostatics on the basis of Gauss law concept or whatever it is. Electrostatics. You have a volume distribution of charge which satisfies the condition that the volume charge density can be given as rho is equal to rho naught by r, where r is the distance taken from the center. All this is a spherical volume distribution of charge where capital R refers to the radius of the sphere. What they are asking me is what is the entire charge enclosed in this? Very simple. The enclosed charge can be given as rho dV, 0 to capital R. This is nothing but rho naught by R, 4 pi r square dr, 0 to capital R. Now this will become 2 rho naught pi capital R square. I repeat, 2 rho naught pi r square is the charge enclosed in that sphere. In this question, you have two planets. Planet 1, planet 2. The first one is of mass capital M, the other one is of mass 16m. What I am telling you is that you need to project from here so that it reaches the other, and you require a minimum speed for projection. And what exactly is the condition involved in this? Somewhere in between you will find a point which is called neutral point. Net gravitational field is 0. So such a point you need to catch. What is the condition for that? M by r square is equal to 16 m by, if we are measuring from here it is r, from that side you said 10a is the distance, 10a minus r whole square. This is the condition given. So what you will get? 10a minus r is 4r. So r is equal to 2a. 2a. R is equal to 2a, which means if you can project in such a way that it crosses this point, R is equal to 2a, that's all. Right? From R is equal to 2a, you need to project. By doing that, you will get the proper answer. And number 2, in this case, try to see energy conservation is also involved. So half mv minimum square minus g cap, you are projecting it from here, don't forget that. At this point there are 2 potential energies. A. What about the potential energy of that? Capital M into 16 small m by, this is already of radius 2a. From here to here it is 9a. And this is equal to, this is equal to, just comes to rest at that point, 0. And in this, what have you proved? In this you have proved that, in this, R is 2a is what you have proved. So 0 minus G capital M small m by 2a minus G 16m small m by 8a. Now you determine V minimum. You will get the value of V minimum as under root 5 by 9 G capital M by A. And this is my answer. This is the question given from nuclear physics. That too, radioactive decay area. It was given C19 is having a half-life of 5700 year. They are asking decay constant. It's a very simple question. And we know lambda is 2 by half-life. This is 0.693. Fortunately, it was in multi-correct MCQ type. If it is given in integer, it is difficult. It is MCQ format, so no issues. You can estimate the answer. And this will be 12.16 into 10 to the power of minus 5 year inverse. So my answer is 12.16 into 10 to the power of minus 5 year inverse.